Commander Ruth Erno. Well, I was born and brought up in Boston, in the area of Roxbury, and my father family all lived sort of clustered together in a whole area where we lived. My mother was British, who came here to visit an aunt in Boston, and during that visit she met my father, and just a few months later they were married. I was very proud of my city. Both my parents, my mother and father, were involved in Veterans Affairs. My mother, who was British, became a citizen when she met my father, and she was very strong for civic causes. She was always campaigning for something or someone. She was a very exciting person to be with. And she did a lot for the veterans at the Veterans Hospital. So there were always like fundraisers or socials or groups of people that she was either helping or advising. It was an exciting household, yes. And as I said, my mother was British, and when she started on one of her causes, and mostly to benefit veterans, it was, I don't care if it's the President of the United States, if I have to say about it, I will say it. And that was her. To my mother, nothing was impossible. And I was brought up on that theory. When I was in grade school, bring home a report card, her comment was, that's fine, you keep up the good work and you'll go to college, And then when I got to college, it would be, keep up the good work and, you'll do this and you'll do that. My mother only saw, great things for me, I went to State College, it's now a university, Framingham, to become a teacher. My problem was when I graduated from Framingham, I wasn't 21, so I couldn't get a job teaching, and that's how come I enlisted in the Navy, because at that time they were recruiting women for the Navy. They just started taking women, in the Navy, and I was at that time looking for a job, couldn't get a job teaching because I wasn't 21. So when they opened to the women in the Navy, I was I volunteered. My photograph was on the front page of the Boston Post because I was sworn in at the same time as Sultan's daughter, Emily. And well, first of all, having lived in Boston and being in New York City very often, my mother was British, she was from London. To her, Boston was a small town, so a weekend in New York was just routine for us, because they had those excursions at that time, It was by boat. We'd leave at 5 o'clock in the evening of a Friday evening, get to New York in the next morning, and we'd have, the whole day and then reverse it in coming back. And because my mother thought Boston was a small town, so she loved the big city atmosphere. Yeah, And well, anyhow, it was always that my age was against me with regard to selection of schools, and definitely with regard to teaching, because nobody was going to hire someone who wasn't 21. So when the Navy opened, it up to, for women, I enlisted because to me it was a job.